Hey, Randy Joe here, and today we are going to be reacting to Maps by Billy Woods and Kenny Segal. Now keep in mind this is just a reaction video, this is not a full-length review. If you want a full-length review, you can go to www.theaveragejoesmusicopinion.com. There will be a link in the description if you want to read my full review of this album after I've given it multiple listens. Again, this is just a first reaction, so things are subject to change as I listen to this more and more. Still, I've heard many great things about this album. It just came out this year. I never got around to it, so I figured I would get to it now. Never listened to Billy Woods either. I'm not too familiar with his work. I just know that he's a bit more, I guess, abstract jazz rap, sort of, kind of like a throwback hip-hop sort of sound. So I'm looking forward to hearing that on this album here. At 44 minutes and 17 songs, most of these tracks are a bit shorter than normal, which I always like. I always like a quick 1-2 punch. So without any more time being wasted, let's just jump into Kenwood Speakers, the first track here. Very cold sound. Very very strange experimental delivery. A very like low bit sound to this one. Alright. Quick flash in a pan, minute and 20 seconds. Right to the point. Definitely would take more listens to dive into the lyrics here, but I like the way he ended it with, "Here they found him in the morning, hose run from the exhaust pipe," clearly alluding to some sort of suicide. I don't know, maybe he is suggesting that his competitors will kill themselves just out of his sheer abilities. Next we've got Soft Landing. I like this beat. A bit more mellowed out. That's a reference to something. I cannot figure out what the reference specifically is, but that "you know how I feel" repetition. It's on the tip of my tongue. Reference to Biggie. I like this one. I like the mellow delivery. Again, lyrically, very dense. Okay, going right into sound check. Kind of an abrupt end on Soft Landing. This very experimental sort of delivery and beat. Definitely gonna take a few listens to really get in. Like you hear that like weird dinging in the background. Kind of sounds like it's a sample of just some sort of like rattling in like some sort of quiet courtyard or something, or like some weird construction site. Like I don't even know. Not sure how I feel about his verse. Maybe it's his delivery or his voice, but it's not. I like the beat on this one, but again, I'm not grasping the lyrical content, which not at all shocking considering how dense a lot of it seems. Okay. Iffy on that one. My apologies. I'm sure that'll grow on me though, but again, very different sound to this album. Next we're going to go to Rapper Weed. I like that drum beat and that piano. Gotta have your weed track on the album. A staple. I don't like shit stay inside the crib. Is that a Earl Sweatshirt reference? I love that drum beat in the background. That it's just so beautiful. It's a good rhythm. Really like the delivery that Billy Woods is putting out here. I'm liking this one a lot. That beat, the delivery, his flow, very clean on this one. Probably my favorite track so far. But now we're going on to Blue Smoke. Short minute and 30. Ooh. Jazzy as fuck. Very jazzy. Love when a rapper just like flows over like the most insane sort of jazzy freeform-esque sound, you know, similar to how I feel Kendrick has in the past, obviously on For Free, or Danny has on some certain tracks. I think Jen's Terrific Vacation on his most recent album, Quaranta, he does a similar aspect. I love that. I want more rappers on jazz beats, and not just jazz rap. I'm saying like hard, straight to the point jazz like this. We got plenty of jazz rap, but I'm saying like I like this frantic sort of instrumental, very frantic sort of beat and delivery. Overall, I liked it. I think he's kind of taunting the feds on that one. Next, we got Bad Dreams Are Only Dreams. Again, quick 1 minute track. Jazzy though, jazzy as hell. Beautiful production on that one. Again, not much to say about the lyrical content. Really hard to sort of grasp what he's saying. I'm seeing a lot of allusions to Flight on that one, but again, beyond that, nothing grabbing me instantly. Next, we're going on to Babylon by Bus. That hard kick. This is a hard beat. Oh, we got like a beat switch halfway through that's already short. God, I love the very eerie, dark, hard-hitting switch up here as we introduce Shrapnel. Unfamiliar with him. Let's see how he does. Jeez. Lots of allusions and references throughout this one. But Shrapnel's got the very like horrorcore delivery here. Loving it. What? Jeez, what is this beat? This like elevated strings part? Jeez, these strings are just conquering the beat here. Perfectly transitions right into the next track, but we'll get back to what I was saying. That last one, that last track there, Babylon by Bus, was just probably the nastiest beat so far. Just really hard hitting, really blaring and pushing the boundaries there. That constant beat switch throughout what is like a 2-minute track. You get multiple beat switches in that runtime. There's just so much going on. I loved it. Going on to Year Zero. Danny Brown's on this one. Big Danny fan here. As I've talked about in my recent Quaranta reaction, love Danny. So, huge fan. Here you go. Very sludgy, slow start. Man wasn't forgetting to adjust for wind. Dead hand reach from the past to God. Kickstand for the weapon. Tumor pressed on his brain, but your man wasn't forgetting to adjust for the wind. Is this like a murder track? Like a hitman track? Very like horrorcore beat again. Which, big fan of horrorcore. Would love a good renaissance of it. There he is. That laugh. That's so funny. Illiterate can't read the room we in. That's just a classic Danny pun. Not the first Frank Sinatra reference from Danny Brown either. Check out Frankie Sinatra, track he did with the Avalanches. Classic Danny verse there, full of humor and personality in his lines. But had a more horrorcore tone to that track. I'm finding some of these tracks here kind of fit that more dark, disturbed tone that not many rappers really delve into anymore. But continuing, we've got Hangman. That is the next track here. 2 minutes 55 seconds. A bit of a longer one on this album, but again, very dark, atmospheric tone. Paper and pencil, I wrote the verse like Hangman. No need to ask who sent you. I wrote the verse like Hangman. Kind of like that sort of concept of him writing things as if he's slowly piecing it together. Because these do feel very meticulously put together, very carefully planned. Classic analogy. Again, very grimy horror chorus sound. Okay, next we're going into Baby Steps. The direction of this LP is very different than what I thought it was going to be. Not as jazz rappy as I thought it was. Still some elements of it, but the darker, moodier tone is unexpected. More energy in his verse here. Some of the lines and words he's rhyming here, I should say, are just so like interesting. DNBN foo, my ops pass each other, coming and leaving, my foo steamin', my fuh steamin'. I always mispronounce that word, but just like, who thinks of that? Who puts these words together? Who rhymes these lines? You know. Oh, I'm loving this one. I'm loving the way he delivers this. I'm loving the complex rhyme schemes here. Unfamiliar with this artist here. Some very, typical horrorcore staples here, flesh, bone, marrow, zombies, goblins, like all that shit is very much a collection of staples within horrorcore, I find. I like that one. That one was honestly kind of a heavy track. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. Next we're going on to The Layover. Lots of lines and references to Flight on this album. Very interesting. His flow on this one too. It's just so smooth, so clean. I really like this chorus too. Even the chorus is like riddled with allusions and references, double entendres and such. Like horseshoes and hand grenades. There was another line up here, call a shovel a spade. A lot of metaphors within his lyrics. Very jazzy, dark, atmospheric beat on that one. I'm liking this outro too. I wonder if it'll play right into the next. Does not seem like it, but that's okay. Next we're going into FaceTime. Samuel T. Herring on the track on this one. Another Biggie reference kicking this one off too. There it is. I love that like shimmery sort of background there. Oh. Very unexpected chorus here. Not used to actual like singing on this album. Feels like this is the track that Billy Woods was focusing on making, I guess, the hit almost. A little catchiness to it. Such a like clean, jazzy, beautiful beat here. And this guy's singing really just complements the very smooth jazziness of it. Very smooth instrumental. This might be my favorite track so far. Maybe a basic pick, I'm not sure, but I loved it. Does have the second most streams, so definitely, I think, built with some larger appeal. Next we're going to the track Agriculture. Love that one. Very lo-fi beat, but not much to say on it, unfortunately. I think that, again, is one that will grow on me. Houdini is the name of this one. Kicking right into it. I love this very more experimental, hard-hitting beat here. His delivery just flows so smoothly over most of these beats that it's kind of hard to find anything jumping out at me. That being said, he flows quite smoothly over all of these beats. This whole track's about escaping through your vices to avoid all the drama of everyday life, from what I'm gathering. Next we got Waiting Around. A$AP Rock on this one. Ooh. That like roll right into the next beat there. Absolutely beautiful. I love the way he just flows right into that. Caught in a pocket. Not leaving a lot of space to breathe in either. A lot of breath control in this verse. Beautiful jazzy beat here. And those drums, I love that like dragging snare. Jay-Z and the Discman. Can I just say that as this album has been playing, I find Billy Wood's delivery and tone and style kind of reminds me a lot of Jay-Z, especially earlier Jay-Z tracks. Just I might notice I've listened to a lot of Jay-Z recently, and something about Billy Woods is connecting with me. Definitely an influence on him. Although Woods feels obviously more focused on being experimental and out there. I'm not gonna lie, I think I liked ASAP Rock's verse more, but maybe it's just because I'm a little unfamiliar with Woods. Wow, beautiful track though overall. Love that one. NYC Tap Water. Is there tap water bad there? I've had Florida tap water. Wish I didn't.
On the last train we piled in, pack lasted 3 days, azithromycin. I miss this place till I'm back, long face to match. My cats is.
He really rhymed we piled in with azithromycin. That's like a doom bar. There is reference to jet lag and planes and flight. Big theme throughout this LP so far. Kind of in his feels on this one here. God, this beat is so mellow, so jazzy, so just like hypnotic. Alright, next we're going to As the Crow Flies, which I believe is the last track here, closing out 2 minutes 20 seconds. Back to that very hard-hitting jazzy sort of beat. I really like this rapper and his like sort of delivery, but I'm not too familiar with his work. I've seen his name a few times. Not even gonna try to pronounce it because I feel like I'll butcher it. I like that repeating sound there in the background. Man, Billy Wood's really in his feels on the second half of this album. Quick, brief little verse there at the end, touching on nostalgia and growth, maturity. Closing that out, that's the end of Maps by Billy Woods, one of the most acclaimed albums of the year. That was my first reaction. I will say, did not instantly captivate me, but as the album went on, I definitely enjoyed it more and more. It's going to take quite a few listens before I can really grasp a lot of the lyrical content on here, but still, beautiful production. I can say that right off the bat. Gorgeous production, very jazzy, a lot of it's very down-tempo. Some of the choruses here are well sung, especially on the track FaceTime with Samuel T. Herring on the chorus. Great delivery from him, great vocal performance overall. And I liked A$AP Rock's verse on Waiting Around, which I really liked that track just in general. NYC Tap Water, another one that I loved. I liked Rapper Weed. I liked a good chunk of these tracks right off the bat. Year Zero was also a pretty great track with Danny Brown, but I am biased. I love Danny no matter what the context is. But still, pretty strong album just on a first reaction. This is definitely one that is meant more to be studied as you listen rather than, making a quick judgment. So if you want to see my full review after I've heard this quite a few times, go to www.theaveragejoesmusicopinion.com. Link will be in the description right to the review. If you're watching this, that review is already posted. So, overall, I enjoyed this experience. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe if you want to see me react to more new albums, new releases, as well as some older releases at some point in the future. As always, my name is Randy Joe, and I'm signing off.